Alright, so here we have a poll just released on January 9th, 2012. It's from CBS News, so I had to do my own reporting to vet this. But, of course, the title poll: Among GOP hopefuls, Romney fares best against Obama. Which is generally true. But what I want to do here is scroll down. Well, that's fascinating. You'll see the top two: Mitt Romney, Ron Paul, Rick Santorum, top three. Rick Santorum, 43%, Barack Obama, 47%. 1 percentage point, or well, two, however you want to look at it, percentage point difference, and kind of the same thing in reverse for Mitt Romney. And I think the key thing to note is this. A lot of people always talk about how Ron Paul, if he did a third party, it would hurt the GOP. And as I'm looking at this, it's sort of a weird dynamic. Look at Mitt Romney. He does 90% with Republicans. And then look at Ron Paul with Republicans. 81% would support him in this hypothetical matchup. 9% of Republicans would support Barack Obama, which would effectively give Obama the election. Obviously this is just, it's just a poll. But what I'm getting at here is Republicans always claim, well, he's going to get the Democrat elected if he runs third party. But here we see a poll, and it shows that actually, almost 10% of Republicans would vote for Obama over Paul. And the same is true from Newt Gingrich and Rick Perry. So I don't know. It's just kind of interesting dynamic. But the point here is Ron Paul and Mitt Romney really, statistically, according to this poll, have the best chance to beat Obama in a general election. And I actually think this number could come up, especially if we have a war with Iran, or the euro collapses, and then it starts that chain reaction of banks shutting down, and then the fear moves in, and then it becomes to where basically Republicans need to be able to return, and the mainstream Americans, they need something that will scare them enough. And chances are something's going to happen. All this is stuff in the air. They need something that'll scare them enough to stop fear-mongering about Iran. Something that will happen that will make them say, okay, I don't care about Iran anymore. We've got to cut. This is ridiculous. This shit's about to get real. Okay? And I keep thinking something like that's going to happen at some point. And it's going to change this entire race. And that's the only way, honestly, that's the only way I see Ron Paul winning the nomination. Just to be honest, I don't really see how he can win the nomination at this point. Unless the campaign can do a better job explaining his foreign policy. I wish they would do a little bit better job. I guess what I'm trying to get at here is sometimes I think the campaign, they go too far into detail about foreign policy, when really there's no need for that. All he needs to simply say is he needs to talk about constitutional wars, talking about a declaration of war to the Congress. He needs to keep pounding that home. Nothing else, nothing more, nothing less. Because everything else, it sort of gets into the weeds. And then we're dealing with people's preconceived notions about Iran. He shouldn't even go there. Except to say, well, I would only support a constitutional war against Iran. So if we felt we needed to go to war, or we need to go to war with Iran, then we need to declare it through the Congress. Furthermore, it is important to note that we've put sanctions on Iran, and those sanctions have now led to the current crisis of Iran threatening to shut down the Straits of Hormuz. So here we have a clear example of the policies of my opponents leading to this current crisis. So no, my suggestion is, we have a debt crisis, we have a spending crisis, and we can't afford a war, so we should avoid a war. A war in the Middle East would be the worst option available. Now, so my goal in all this is if we're going to go to war, then that it be as a nation together through a constitutional measure, through Congress declaring the war, and then we will fight it, win it, destroy them, get out of there. We will not nation build. Keep it simple, to the point, and what you will do, not what you won't do, blah, blah, blah. And that's it. If they could keep doing that over and over again, I think you could see some movement upward. But until they do that, I just don't see it. See ya.